It's always something going on, always something. Always something acting crazy. All right, people, what's going on? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. We are good to go, baby. We are good to go. What's up, people? I see you, I see you, I see you. What's up to my people up there on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter? This is just another day. Another day in the world of politics. I want to say what's up to my people, my Patreon, my supporters. And first, let me give a shout out to the moderator in charge, Buck Bewley. Give it up for Buck Bewley, y'all. I wear a diaper. Buck, what's going on, man? What's going on, Buck? Hope that wasn't true. Hope I didn't put you on display in real life. Hope you were just joking, Buck. Come on, Buck. That depends. Funny guy. I'm gonna have to leave it, man. We'll have to leave it. Okay, so we got the people in the house. What's happening, man? Glad you guys can make it to the show. You guys are amazing. Thank you for doing what you do. You people that keep the lights on in this joint. We got a new light, and we got the cameras, and we're about to kick some butt in independent media, folks. Yes, you. All right. If you're on Facebook, if you're on Twitter, come on over to the YouTube side of the game and hit a like for a brother. I'm going to need your help. I'm going to need you to do some heavy lifting, Johnson. Come on. Do some heavy lifting. Come on over. Drive on over to the YouTube channel. Hit the like for the algorithm. The algorithm needs to know that we mean business. I'm over here trying to wake up, Johnson. So I'm on my phone looking up ways to wake up, right? And it said, go for a brisk walk. Screw that. Got time for that. Talking about right now, man. Where you think I'm at? Work? Go for a brisk walk. It said drink ice water. It said put ice on your wrist. Or hug Hillary Clinton. Same thing. It's cold as ice. All right, people, if you're new to the channel, let me tell you what to expect. All right, say you're new. You just wandered your drunk ass into this show. Sat down because there was an empty seat.
You actually thought you were going to the Corey Holcomb show. It's like, where the 5150 crew at? Wrong show, Negro. But you're like, okay, I'm going to stay here because I got a warrant and the cops are outside. So you stay here. Check this out, guys. This is a U.S. politics show. We cover U.S. politics, breaking news, and black culture. I put all of those things into one show. So just think of it. You get 3 shows for the price of none. You can't beat that. Nah, you can't beat that deal, Sable winners. You can't beat this deal, Bill Brummer. You can't beat it. Sign of the Times, Julie Pulley, Nelson Ortega, Black Mamba. You can't beat the deal. Stop trying to beat the deal. You can't. Hey, Tim Black Man, you be shouting out people on the show. You're damn right I do. They keep the lights on in here. Okay, so if you like this content, if you like this content, you got to go to patreon.com, Tim's Take Live, because that is where you go to support the Tim Black Show. That's where you go, baby. I think the water's working. The ice water's working. I got ice water and I got tea. All right. I'll be fine all day until I got to do a show, and then my voice starts to act crazy. You guys ready? What's up? Donald Moore, what's going on, man? It's almost over with people. It's almost over with people. Okay. I don't know what that means, Johnson. All right. I want everyone. Can I have a moment of silence for the Kamala Harris campaign? Moment of silence for Kamala Harris's campaign, her presidential aspirations, her political career, and all her supporters. Okay. There you go. That's it. That's all you get, Kamala. Kamala. As the title would suggest, Kamala makes fatal mistake. Sinks herself with black voters. Yeah, she sunk herself with black voters, guys. It's a wrap for the black vote. It's done. It's done now. It's gone. It's over. It's over like Revolt TV. It's over. It's over like making the band. Listen, guys, this is the way it is. And I've been mulling over this thing for the last couple of days, but I'm like, After seeing some of the displays that the Democratic Party has done for the Kamala Harris rallies, I said, Tim Black, because I call myself by my first name. You know, first person, I talk to myself this way. I said, brother, are there really good black women in this country? Black American women who would allow themselves to be denigrated the way that they have been denigrating black women during this Kamala Harris campaign. See, I remember back when Hillary Clinton ran for office, I was watching what was happening to black women, and I was upset. Yeah, I thought that was bad. See, Hillary Clinton would take the mother of, Tamir Rice, for instance, and take her on the campaign trail. Take the mother of Jordan. Jordan, what's his last name? I forget his name. It's bad. I want to say Jordan Davis, but I may get that wrong. It was a young brother killed in a Don't Play Loud Music thing. I know his killer name was Dunn. Michael Dunn, I think his name was. That bastard shot that young man in the car. He almost killed 3 teenagers. He shot into a car because they played the music loud. Michael Nunn, that bastard. Michael Nunn, that's his name. And Jordan was the young man who lost his life. Then there was the brother. It was a couple of brothers. They also had Eric Garner's, was it his wife? Yeah, I think it was his wife. Erica Garner did not like that. Anyway, she took him around on the campaign trail with her. These were like window dressing for her campaign because Hillary Clinton, well, she was trying to get that black vote. She was trying to get the black vote, and she said, well, I'm going to get the black vote by taking these black women and wrapping myself in their pain. And though I have no policies that speak towards black people, the fact that I have the symbolism of these black women with me, well, I am no ways tired. I am no ways tired. It didn't work. I felt vindicated. I did. I felt vindicated. I felt good about that not working. Taking my sisters out like that, parading them around, using their anguish in order to try to pull our heartstrings. Hey, folks, I don't know if you noticed or not, white people get killed by cops too. Why she couldn't throw a couple of white women in that lineup? Because she wasn't trying to fight to get the, she knew she wasn't going to get the white woman vote. Now, she knew that, but she knew she could get them black women vote. And black men too. So anyway, and I thought I was upset about what Hillary Clinton did because, well, I had good reasons to be. We're all political pawns when it comes to election time. Election time comes and everybody want to be your friend, baby. Everybody's talking about how much they love you, and that ticked me off. More than that, I felt like the political pawning of black women, it just seemed so over the top and so gratuitous for the Democratic Party. She wasn't offering anything by the way of ensuring that that would never happen again, that we would never, that those, those deaths could be prevented in the future. She wasn't running on anything like that, but she was using it as if she was going to do something. Fast forward to 2024, right? And now what we got is even worse. Yeah, Kamala Harris went further than Hillary. I mean, Hillary's like, wow, she got away with that. Hillary Clinton is sitting somewhere right now, jealous, mad, and laughing her ass off, all at the same time. She's looking schizophrenic right now. She's going through something, just watching this thing go down. Folks, when I'm looking at this, when I'm watching this right here, when I'm watching this, I can't help but feel more offended than I was when I saw Hillary Clinton. This is Hillary Clinton on steroids. This is black women being used as sex objects. It's increasingly troubling to see black female artists encouraged to perform in sexually suggestive manners at political rallies, particularly as we've seen with VP Kamala Harris and her campaign. Yeah, it's one thing if you're one of these performing artists like Meg Thee Stallion, Florilla, Cardi B. It's one thing if that's what you do, and people come out to pay money to come see you in the format of you performing in entertainment. They come out to your concert, they come out to see you do this. But it's something different when they got black women projected this way on the screen at a political rally. Yeah. You don't see the difference there? I started looking around, I noticed I don't see white women like doing stripper shows at political rallies. There aren't any white women that have shows that are kind of raunchy. Where are they at? Why aren't they performing at the events? Where's the booty shaking Latinas? Why is everything I'm seeing black women being projected this way? And why aren't black women pushing back? Tim, they are. They just don't get a mic. They just don't get a mic to do it. What I'm saying, folks, is that while music and art have their place in political expression, the specific portrayal of black women at these events as merely performers of sexually charged dances strikes many in our community as not only exploitive, but deeply disrespectful. Yeah, this is low. And this is what the Democratic Party does. In me, looking at this, I say this is just enough for anybody to be turned off by the Democratic Party. And you know what I think? I think it will have a negative impact on their campaign. We will only know by exit polls, or we'll only know when we talk to people in our communities. We will only know when it's all said and done. But I can only hope, folks. I can only hope for the respect level of Black women in this country that they are rejecting this. And I can only hope that they will punish the Democratic Party, not unlike they got punished in 2016, because this is dangerous. Man, some people want to say that Kamala Harris becoming VP was a monumental step for women, particularly Black women. Though I disagree. That Jamaican Indian woman ain't got nothing to do with Black women that I know. And that Jamaican Indian woman does not have respect for Black women in totality, because look at this. You don't think at some point you say, hey, maybe this is not a good idea? This ain't a rock concert. This ain't a hip-hop concert. This ain't a striptease. This ain't Magic City. This ain't the Penthouse. Washington, D.C. Penthouse. This ain't the Macombo Lounge. This ain't Foxy Brown's Playground. This is a political campaign in front of the entire globe. Someone running for the highest office in the land in the United States of America, and you got a mixed woman of color, Kamala Harris, and for her supporters, butt shaking. When Obama ran, did he have guys out there shaking their butts? That would be ludicrous, right? Huh? When Jesse Jackson ran, was there some guy in a thong having pressed women put money in his, I don't even know where you put it, I don't even know. But I'm gonna go out on the limb and say, nah, that didn't happen. Better yet, I didn't see this shit when Biden ran. Oh, come on, Tim Black, if it was Biden, it would be totally different. They'd have one of those, they wouldn't even have music being played by streaming on clouds or whatever, digital files. They'd have had a phonograph, somebody turning the wheel. Right? I don't know why I threw that in. I thought it was funny. In my mind, I could see it. That organ playing and shit. But now the point of the matter is, why is this acceptable with Kamala Harris? I remember the atrocious no vote, no fucking BS. You remember that? How disrespectful that was. And now we get this, they've upped the ante, folks. Why should our connection to political discourse be mediated through imagery that seems to reduce Black women to mere objects of entertainment? How are you saying you're coming forward, man, and you're rising to, you're breaking the last of the glass of the ceiling. You're crushing the last of the barriers for women. You're making a monumental step for Black women, for women of color. This is so important. It means so much to women, only to amplify the most derelict, degrading images of women at the most inopportune time. Like, I've been to a strip club before. You know, I'm not saying people can't go out and have fun, but what the hell that got to do with a political campaign? And why are people condoning it? Why does it seem normal? This ain't normal. It's unprecedented. This practice must be questioned, not just for decency's sake, but as a fundamental issue of respect and self-worth. We are to demand more thoughtful and dignified representations that respect the multifaceted contributions of women to our society. But I also want to put some of the onus on those women that were performing this. And I want to put the onus on those women who sat in that audience while it took place. You are guilty as well, because you not only sat there while it went down. Some of you did it. You chopped it up as, well, I won't be supportive. Oh, come on, Tim Black. Loosen up, Pops, with your old ass. Nah, man, some things don't need to change that much. I mean, you saying women want to say, some of you anyway, some of these women, the very same women saying, Tim Black, you need to loosen up, are the same women that say, hey, this is a monumental step for women. If you don't support women by voting for Kamala Harris, you don't love women, you don't love your mother, you don't love your daughter, you don't love your sister or your wife. Meanwhile, I say I do love them. I love them enough not to sit them in front of the damn TV. I don't even want my grandbaby sitting in front of the TV as I'm doing my research for this damn segment. That should not be the case. I should never have to say, baby girl, you need to leave the room. Pop, doing research on political campaigns. I don't want you to see this. I don't want you to see Florilla's camel toe. That makes sense to you? You don't find that at all a little like going too far? You don't find that a little degrading? And why is it that the only way to talk to black people, you can't talk to us policy-wise? You got to talk to us doing like this, shaking something? Now, man, if there is any justice, if there is any self-respect left in the black community, and I know it's got to be, man, it's got to be, we will reject Kamala Harris, this campaign. We will shut it down as a warning to those that come after that we don't play this way. You go after the king, you best not miss. I'm not saying that you got to be perfect, and I'm not going to say you can't make mistakes, but this is as far from perfect as perfect will allow, or as far from perfect as imperfection will allow, and it's a disrespect, a blatant disrespect. And I'm sure it went through several checks and balances. And not only did you do it once, you did it multiple times. So what does that tell you about the level of respect the Democratic Party has for Black America? I say it says a whole lot about it. It's loud and clear. All right. So the Democratic Party is on a losing streak, or they're on a trajectory to get the L. And I say good. For this alone, you deserve the L, baby. If anybody earned an L, it would be the Democratic Party with these shenanigans. I know I'm not alone. I know there's other people that's watching this that are saying similar things. It's weird. We got Obama pointing his finger, wagging his finger. We got Michelle Obama talking to black men like we're 2 years old. And meanwhile, they got nothing to say about this debauchery, this nonsense. Meanwhile, they kept their children, their 2 young daughters, in a respectable level the entire time for 8 years growing up in the White House. Meanwhile, they don't give a damn about our kids. They'll let our kids be influenced by this nonsense. Do as I say, not as I do. Well, let's get going, guys. Kamala makes a fatal mistake. And one of those fatal mistakes was the way she ran her campaign. And when the autopsy's done about what took place here, besides blaming black men, and thank you very much once again, blame me, baby. I want all the smoke. I relish and I bask in the hopes that I will be part of the reason why she loses. Because I don't much want to support I would never vote for a prosecutor. There's other things to do with your law degree besides lock people up. There's other things to do with it. It could be environmental justice. You can go down the list of things you can do. You can help traffic children. There's all types of things you can do with a degree in law, a jurisprudence doctorate degree, or what have you, besides contribute to mass incarceration. Be that as it may, guys, let's get this. This is something I was looking at here. And just to set the table here, It's like Kamala went down the list of all the horrible people that you could have speak for her, and she hit every one of the branches of the horrible tree of horrible guests, horrible surrogates that you could find. In her most recent horrible pick was Cardi B.
Voice is your power.
I'm sorry, that's the other one.
Hold on. How you guys doing tonight? How you guys doing tonight? Are we ready to make history? Are we ready to make history? Are we ready to change these 4 years? No. Are we ready to change the next 8 years? Because we're going to make sure we have Kamala Harris in office for 8 years.
How could you take a person serious who's talking about giving someone 8 years when they haven't been elected, not even to win a primary? How could you possibly know how she's going to govern? How could you possibly know if her policies are going to be helpful to your community or not? And that's how you know that these celebrity endorsements ain't hitting on nothing. Particularly out of your mouth, Cardi B. Particularly out of your mouth. I mean, you would think, but see, this is the mentality of these celebrities that people line up behind. We got to stop throwing our money at them. If you're going to throw your money at them as a form of entertainment and nothing else, hey, I disagree with this particular brand, but hey, that's just me, man. I'm old school. But hey, the least you can do is have respect enough for yourself and enough self-awareness not to look at this person for any type of political advice. Because it makes no sense in a logical manner, man, why you would ever suggest that someone should get elected for 2 terms when they weren't even picked to be the nominee of their own party by the people. But Cardi B don't give a damn. She don't care. She don't understand anything. She's not interested in understanding anything. And why do people start elevating this cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, backstabbing, drugging Johns and robbing men and all types of nonsense she's already quoted to? I mean, I appreciate your honesty, but Jesus Christ, why we want to listen to you? Why does anybody listen to this windbag? Cardi B doesn't have good sense. She could be a sweetheart, a nice person. Don't get it twisted. Don't mean she should be listened to for anything that requires thought.
Thank you. All right. Because I got something I've been wanting to say for a long time. I've been saying it on Twitter, on my Instagram, and I'm ready to tell it to you now.
Tasha K wasn't lying. She was right, but I sued her anyway. Nah, that's not it. That ain't what she gonna say. I'm joking. She ain't say that.
Y'all ready to listen? All right, now. All right. Just like Kamala Harris, I too have been the underdog. I've been underestimated.
I wonder why. I wonder why people underestimated you. In what way?
My success belittled and discredited.
Oh, because you are not doing anything materially that will actually benefit people. Man, you're an entertainer. Discredit you to do what? Shake your ass? I'm trying to understand what these people are talking about. You dance. You dance like you at a strip club. You're a marginal rapper and you dance, you strip. What are you talking about? Nobody believed that you could do that? They was holding me back. They weren't trying to let me get on the stage and shake my butt. I'm not saying it doesn't take talent, but I'm saying, are we really talking about the same thing? And now you're comparing yourself to, I guess you can compare yourself to Kamala Harris. I mean.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all something. Women have to work 10 times harder, perform 10 times better, and still people question us how we got to the top.
Women got to work 10 times harder. Really? 10 times? Really? Women have to work 10 times harder.
I'd be like, how she got there?
Is that what Kamala Harris did? She worked 10 times harder? See, that's why this speech is so horrible, man. She wrote that down. I don't know who gave her that. She said she wrote it herself. I'm going to take her at her word. You actually wrote down that she worked 10 times harder. That's what you're talking about, Kamala Harris? Or you talking about other women? You're not talking about you. I'm not saying that women don't have to work hard. I think we all got to work hard. But okay, maybe women have to work harder. I don't know. I'm not a woman. I can't tell you. I can't tell you. I know white women were the primary beneficiaries of affirmative action back when that was working. And mostly white women got that. But you're just saying women in general, so I don't really know what you mean by that. But I will say this. It's kind of bad timing for you to suggest, because it seems like you may be including Kamala Harris in this, because that's who your speech is supposed to be about, right? Because you're at her rally for her becoming president. And the idea that maybe that she had to work 10 times as hard as somebody don't make sense when she didn't earn anybody's vote to be in the position she's in. It was given to her. It was literally given to her. She was literally chosen to be VP. After not winning a single primary or a single electoral vote in a 2019 race, she was handed the vice presidency. Then she was handed the Democratic nomination here in 2024. So it's just really weird that you would write a speech talking about how hard women got to work when Kamala ain't did all that work, when it doesn't apply to the person you're giving a speech for. Am I tripping, y'all? Am I tripping? Am I missing something? What am I missing?
Hold on. Let me warm up. Yeah. Let me tell you something. I can't stand a bully. But just like Kamala, I always stand up to one.
She always stands up to bullies. Okay, I'm going to let Cardi B go because it's too easy. It's too easy. Man, I feel like I'm beating up on somebody. It's not even fair, man, to go after her. Other than to say choosing Cardi B was a horrible idea. It shows what Kamala thinks of women. Particularly, I'm wondering who she did this for. Who is supposed to be swayed by Cardi B? What's the demographic of voters that she's looking to attract by having Cardi B present? Okay, so there was somebody else at the event, Alicia Keys, and I was surprised to see Alicia Keys here because I haven't seen her in a while. So let's give her a listen.
More.
I see too many people trying to disenfranchise us, especially the votes of marginalized people. But you know what that tells me? That tells me that every vote does matter.
Well, we got an electoral process. You may have heard of it, Alicia. Yeah, the electoral colleges who chooses our presidents. I mean, you can vote. I'm not saying it doesn't matter because, popular vote. I mean, it's there for fun. It's for bragging rights, but it really does not determine who becomes the president of the United States. But okay, for shits and giggles and for technicality purposes and not to make you feel bad, okay, fine. It matters. To you. Fair?
And if you're still not sure, I want to remind you that your vote is equal to everyone else's. Your vote counts just as much as any of these other billionaires. In fact, it matters more.
Nah, man, see, what counts is money. And see, these billionaires donate money in the form of super PACs, dark money. That way it's untraceable, basically, and it gets funneled into our elections. And basically, they buy our elections. And you hear a lot of talk about how Elon Musk is giving all this money to the Trump campaign. People leave out how much money Bill Gates gave or how much George Soros continues to give. And in the list of billionaires that give to these campaigns, it's almost twice as many billionaires supporting Kamala Harris than supporting Donald Trump. It's just they like to point out Elon Musk and make him the devil. Meanwhile, they got their own list of billionaires that's a mile long. A mile long. A mile long. These are just facts. But as you're saying that all our votes are equal, they're not all equal, because some of them come with money. But I love the fact that she even brought this up, guys, because it brings it back to the point. Are these people even paying attention? Have they read the room? Well, you know what? In a real political party, it will be a problem if you didn't go through a democratic process in order to pick your candidate. But I guess in the Democratic Party, you can skip that entire process, pick somebody, install someone and say, that's your person, shut up and like it, or you like Hitler. If you don't like it, you must like Hitler. If you don't like it, you don't love America. If you don't like it, you don't love your mother. And then you still come out and hold a speech by another celebrity, that's 2 celebrities, when you point out how important votes are. If votes were so important to the Democratic Party, wouldn't they have had a primary voting process? Wouldn't they allow people to vote on who their Democratic nominee was going to be? I'm just saying, Alicia. I'm just saying, don't it make sense? Like, it's like they just throw it in your face that they don't have to have a political process. And that's good, it's fine. Not only do they not have a political process by in which your votes count, the Democratic Party disenfranchised 40 million voters. I don't know, how many voters voted for Joe Biden? Hey Siri, how many voters voted for Joe Biden in the primary election 2024?
Check it out.
No, read it to me. How many?
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
Okay, read it to me. How many? Well, shit, it's gone. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, Siri. Hey, Siri. How many voters voted for Joe Biden in the 2024 election, primary election? 14 million people voted for Biden. Okay, thank you. The Democratic Party disenfranchised 14 million voters and took away their right to their vote, took away the power of their vote. Just stripped it away, threw it away. I knew it was something with a 4. So 40 would have been wrong and 4 would have been wrong. 14 million people. The party that disenfranchised 14 million of its own voters has not 1 but 2 celebrities come up and talk about the power of votes. I'm just saying, John. I'm just saying. I'm saying that's crazy. That's crazy. You can't make this up. You would think if you robbed a bank, you'd shut up about it. It reminds me, Goodfellas, when the dumbass, when De Niro was like, look, nobody buy nothing, nobody buy nothing. You sit home, you don't. This guy shows up with his wife with a new pink Cadillac. The other guy shows up with mink coats with him and his wife. He's like, I thought I told you buy nothing, go nowhere, don't do nothing, be quiet. You had to whack both of them because they were all stupid. They're all going to go to jail for it because they got, they had a heist. And you're wearing clothes the next week. You're wearing your dry, you know. Well, the Democratic Party's just like that. Democratic Party disenfranchises voters, and then a couple months later, they show up at their convention talking about how important votes are. I don't know, man. I haven't heard from Alicia in a while. Let's see what else she has to say. Because so far, she's been fun.
Because there's more of us. And I know it's easy to look at this uphill battle in front of us and think, I don't really matter and my vote doesn't matter, but we know better.
We do? I'm going to let her go, man. She dumb as a box of rocks on this particular topic. Maybe a very smart lady, if you ask her a math equation, if you ask her to name some continents or something about the solar system, I get it, okay? So I'm talking to you about music theory, she'd probably blow your socks off, but she don't know shit about politics. Hell no, she don't know about politics or votes.
Because you do matter. Your vote matters. Your voice matters. And
Is that what your speech is all about, guys? Let's move on. I don't want to beat up on Alicia Keys, man. I like Swiss Beats. And Alicia Keys, congratulations on your marriage. Jesus Christ. You know, I feel bad after you. Wow, you feel like roasting somebody's wife. That's not cool, man. They want to say, where's your husband at? Get your husband. Where your husband at? You know, because you don't want to. I still come from a school where you just don't go on somebody's wife like that and keep going on and on and on. She ain't saying the damn thing that makes sense, though, Swiss. Damn. All right. So anyway, the Democratic Party is on the brink of destruction, is on the brink. I think if they lose this election, it may be a while before we see another Democrat. I'm serious. I think this election is that pivotal. It's that pivotal. Makes sense to me. Makes sense to you? Check this out, guys. There's no good arguments. There's no good arguments for the Democratic Party. But how good is the Democratic Party going? Because I know some of you say, no, Tim Black, you're just saying this because, you know, your audience doesn't like the Democratic Party. I say you're right. I am saying it because they don't like them, but that's not why I'm saying it. I'm saying it because but it's true. What I'm saying is true, even though it does kind of tie. Sometimes you're right. But what I'm saying is, it's also how I really feel. And it's what it's where everything points to. Jesus, let me get out of this. Look, man, the Democrats are doing badly, and there are a lot of reasons for it. Here goes a great example.
Yes, but I'm serious. These are the kind of guys you like to smack in the ass. But I'm serious. These are the kind of guys you like to smack in the ass.
That's right, folks. The President of the United States is talking about smacking men in the ass. And I know what you're thinking. Like, Tim Black, did you doctor that? No, he said it. That's your president. All of a sudden, those people that were saying that maybe Biden was railroaded, they're like, sometimes you got to railroad people. Sometimes it's railroaded, sometimes it's the right call. It's just who he ended up with is horrible. I'm just saying, man, in what context is this a good idea? Does he know that sound bites exist?
But I'm serious. These are the kind of guys you like to smack in the ass. But I
don't think I want to hear that no matter who you are. President of the United States or president of the Rotary Club or president of the Crossing Guards Union. I don't think I want to hear you saying that. No? All right. He's not alone.
I'm serious. These are the kind of guys you like to smack in the ass.
Kamala did what Kamala always does. She just put her head down and she went to work.
I'm sorry. How'd they get in there? You know, I've been hearing a lot of talk about how great Doug Emhoff is. He's like the poster child for supporting his wife. Too bad his hearing don't work. Yeah, I didn't know Doug had a hearing problem. Because he must not have heard himself say this when he said it. You know what I'm saying? Like, how could you say this? Did he read this? He's reading it. Someone wrote that on a teleprompter. Maybe Doug was thinking, we're above this.
And she went to work. Kamala did what Kamala always does. She just put her head down and she went to work.
I'm undecided yet.
Okay. I will not take credit for that. I did not make that video, but I did find it funny, and I found it. Moving on. So Don Lemon went to Pennsylvania. He was talking to a voter, and this voter is going to tell him everything I'm telling you. Because I know when I tell you, for some reason you think, oh, Timberlake, what are you talking about, guy? I don't know if I could trust Tim because Tim hates him that much. He hates the Democratic Party to the point where he's lost his mind. He's got Kamala derangement syndrome, KDS. Now, this is called good taste and a good nose for truth. That's what that is. But Don Lemon went to Pennsylvania and talked to this voter, and this voter, he gets it.
I will tell you
you're
that.
undecided.
I'm undecided.
Wait, how can you be undecided at this point?
Just a lot of things to take into consideration, and yeah, I'm going to be making a decision here by Tuesday.
So you're going to go. You're not going to do early or mail-in or anything like that?
No, I need the time.
You need the time to...
That's right. Some voters haven't made their mind up totally. I know this was last week when Don Lemon put this clip out, so I'm guessing it was a little time earlier, you know, but still, that's pretty close to not know who you're voting for. Right now, I need you to vote for the like button. By the way, guys, could you hit the like button? I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you that again. We got to hit the like button. We got to get you 700 likes. Help me work this out as we marvel at this young man, as we marvel with this young man about his vote. Remember, Pennsylvania is a battleground state. A battleground state. And this man is going to tell you good reasons why the Democratic Party is probably going to lose Pennsylvania. So hit the like button as we continue this. Now.
Figure it out.
I need the time to figure it out.
Yeah, this is a very important county.
Oh, very important state.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, agreed.
How do you think it's going to go? First, the county.
Trump.
And the state.
Trump.
You think so?
I do.
Why?
I'm in the sign industry. I travel all around the state on a weekly basis. And just based on people I've spoken to and the signs I see, I'm a sign guy, I know the signs. And the Trump signs probably outnumber the Harris signs 10-1 throughout the state. So, gut feel.
So, okay.
I have nothing to base that on, just gut feel. I'm really just trying to look at the policies, and I'm trying to ignore the personalities to a degree. But it's hard to.
How so?
I can agree to that. A lot of people can't having a hard time ignoring the personalities. But at the end of the day, that's what you got to do because we got to be grown-ups. We want to choose the best person for the job that will, you know, give us some type of shot. I mean, nothing's perfect. I mean, no matter who gets in office, it's not going to be a cakewalk for any of us. In fact, I imagine it's going to be difficult regardless. But if you got to put your money somewhere, you got to go with someone, you know, you got to make a choice. And it's hard to do with the polarization, and it's hard to do with the media spin, depending on what channel you listen to. But this guy gives a good breakdown of it. Check it out.
What do you mean by that?
Harris comes across as very likable.
Hold on. He's being nice. Come on, man. I thought you were a straight shooter. What's that like? Okay, I'm being biased again. I just don't understand what's it like. I don't get it, but okay.
Almost soft-spoken and relatable to the general public, where I think Trump comes off as just the opposite. But he gives people a sense of strength, okay, that they're craving. And I don't feel that they see that strength in Harris. I think it's very strange for me, somebody like me, to be middle of the road and can't make a decision, because you're either, you know, as I see it, you're one side or the other.
Yeah.
So,
do you think that what you're saying, I'm going to be honest with you, as a man, it's like there's a machismo that he has, and you are interpreting that as strength, where you can have a quiet strength and be a very strong woman and still accomplish things?
oh, agreed. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I mean, and that's honestly the thing about, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I voted for Trump the first time around. He turned me off a little bit this time around. So I'm a registered Republican, but I'm not the type of person who just votes Republican across the board. I've voted Democrat in the past. It bothers me because he's not strong silent. He's loud, egotistical.
That could mean weakness. That could mean...
It could be a cover-up behavior.
Overcompensating.
No, yeah.
Wow, so you voted for him twice, but now he's turned you off and you don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
So goes the country. We don't know what's going to happen. Thank you. It's a pleasure meeting you. Thank you so much.
Don looked like his life flashed before his eyes. Don's like, what? You don't want Kamala? I could just, that's the way I get the sense. I sense that Don Lemon was kind of hurt there. His feelings were kind of crushed. But I think a lot of people are turned off by a number of things with the Democratic Party. I think this guy was being nicer than most people would be. He's got a business, you know. He's got a business, and maybe it would be advantageous for him not to come off. Because, you got to formally voted for Trump, you're Republican, and then you shit on the Democratic woman of color, and then you got to go do business. It might not be good for your business. We got to think about business. This is why people say there's a lot of silent Trump voters. Even the guy who's voted for him a couple times before. What do you think it's going to do now? You think it's going to go another way? He's going to go one more time. I think he's going to go one more time, Johnson. Just my gut instinct talking. Or was that steak and cheese? That cheese steak I had earlier. Just joking, no cheese steak. But look, bing, bang, boom, bing.
As it is, the dancing, the going to the wrestling matches, going on.
I'm leaning towards Trump.
And why is that?
A lot of the stuff Kamala says is kind of like what Trump has said, like no taxes on tips was something that was kind of reiterated by Trump beforehand.
Oh, you caught that, did you? Hey, you caught what she was doing when she was taking policies that Trump had and saying, oh, that sounds good. I'll take that. I'll absorb that. I'll absorb. In fact, she done a lot of that. Like that's been Kamala's whole thing, her whole political career on the national stage. It's been her absorbing other people's policies when they're hot. And then like shedding them when they're not. She did the same thing in 2019 when she absorbed all of Bernie Sanders' policies. She's sort of like John Carpenter's The Thing in that way. Yeah, because The Thing, I just saw this weekend. I rewatched it. Mrs. Black was like, is that The Thing? I said, you damn right it's The Thing. I love that movie. So anyway, the extraterrestrial being or whatever this is, right? If it gets a little bit of time, it'll invade you, right? But it will absorb you, and then it can mimic you and become you. And people won't be able to tell the difference between you and the thing. Because that's the thing. That's what the thing does. It becomes these other people. It looks like it's these other people when it's really itself. And then it morphs into someone else. And that's what Kamala's done. So right now, Kamala is in her own form. But 4 years ago, she was Bernie. Then she went back to Kamala because she got caught. She had to shed Bernie. Then now she's Trump. She absorbed Trump in a couple ways. But she's back out. Yes, because Bernie was Medicare for all. It was Medicare for all. It was in the wars, in the fracking. Yeah. So that's was two policies she took from Bernie. Then now it's insulin or lowering the price of this or these. And the border, she's absorbing the border wall now. Now she's like, hey, I think the border wall is a good idea. 5 years ago, she hated the border. She said there was no such thing as borders. There should be no borders. There's no such thing as a person illegally entering a country. But she got pissed when they dropped off immigrants to her house because they were illegally sitting on her lawn. That's crazy. Well, my point is, it's good to see that people recognize what's going on. Let's see what else this young lady has to say.
Kind of reiterated by Trump beforehand. She's just kind of been caught up in a lot of lies.
I haven't voted yet, but I plan on voting on election day, and I plan on voting for Donald Trump. I always voted Democratically, but due to my research, I recently changed my mind, Republican, from moving forward.
Obviously, the Russians have held his family hostage. Yeah, obviously that's what's going on, man, because any black man who decides to vote for Trump obviously must be, influenced by bots or Russians or Chinese or something. You know what they've been telling us? There's no way that this black man could decide for himself what he wants to do and not choose the Democrats, because That's what black people are supposed to do. Black people are supposed to go Democrat. And in fact, that we had a black woman, now a black man, going, no, I'm thinking for myself. That's got to tick off Democrats, man. Yeah, it's like they almost want to apologize to black people for choosing another party. Isn't that crazy? It's like the shields, right? It's something I noticed. All the shields have to pretend that the black men don't have agency. Oh no, this isn't real. Yeah, look, I've been out here all this time, shucking and jiving for the Democratic Party, talking to people. And I've only met 2 black men that even thought about voting for Trump. I mean, this is all a made-up thing. That's what I hear them saying. I'm hearing white guys say it too, like independent media white folks. It's just a real thing. Black men are not going to vote for Trump. They're not going to. Why not? White guys do. I thought we were all created equal. So why is it that white guys get to vote for whoever the hell they want, and black guys got to vote Democrat? And if people are saying that black guys are choosing not to vote Democrat, you say it's a hoax. That's because you have no faith that black people will actually have agency. That black men could actually reject Kamala Harris. I mean, what are you saying? You're saying that all other groups can choose not to support the Democrat, but not the black men. Black men cannot choose to vote another way. And if they do, it's either a hoax by the Republican Party, or they're being duped by Russians or bots or something. You don't see how disrespectful that shit is? Because you don't say that about the Latinos or the Asians or the Native Americans, the Protestants, the Catholics, nobody else. The Jewish voters, the Somali voters. I never hear that utilized for any other group of people except for black people. Particularly black men, almost singularly black men. Why is that the talking point of not only the moderate Democrats, but the so-called progressive Democrats as well? Why is that a thing?
Trump has made gains with the black and Latino vote, especially on immigration.
I'm very disappointed. I don't believe anymore on the Democrat Party because they promise and promise and they never do anything. So I'm voting for Donald Trump.
So President Trump has basically said he'll deport millions and millions of people.
I know a lot of times when I bring up the Latino brothers, will be clipped like this. Black folks be like, hey, don't be doing that. We don't got no black-brown coalition. That shit don't exist. It's not about a coalition. It's about truth. I just like to point out the fact that we ain't the only people that are tired of the Democratic Party's BS. Yeah, I just want to point that out that it's not like, don't get me wrong, I'm glad we are choosing to go another way here. You know, I had Dr. Cornel West on the show yesterday. Well, 2 days ago, I had Dr. Cornel West on the show. On Friday, we had a great conversation. And Dr. West's campaign was a very inspiring campaign. Just the fact that he went up against the machinery of the Democratic Party. And I asked Dr. West, I said, Dr. West, what is something that you've learned during the last 17 months of being on this campaign trail and going various states and talking to so many people? He said, I learned in a real fundamental way. Brother Black, I learned that the Democratic Party is more corrupt than I thought. Particularly when it comes to our electoral process. Oh! The Democratic Party is more corrupt than I thought. The way they try to disenfranchise us. The way they try to stop us from being on ballots. We had to spend all our money fighting in court just to get on the ballot. I didn't know it was this bad. It was worse than I thought it could ever be. It's worse than I imagined it to be. So, I just want to point out, I don't know, that people are tired of the Democratic Party for a number of reasons. But this brother here, now, Martha Raddatz is going to go at him with the whole immigration angle. You know, try to guilt him like they would do black folks. What about Central Park 5? You know, she can't say that to him because he's Latino, right? So he's not supposed to care about the Central Park 5. See how they do racial politics? Yeah, if he was black, he'd be like, well, what about the Central Park 5? And that time his dad owned those buildings, him and his dad, and they had to settle out of court along with those other 50 other companies as well. But no one cares about the other 49 companies. Get it, Trump. Yeah. So anyway, they're going to go after him they're going to go at this man about immigration because, well, he's Latino, so that's what they got to do. See, you had to play the racial politics correctly. Let's see what he says. I mean, I already know. Let you see what he says.
He'll deport millions and millions of people.
Well, he said that the first time too, when he was president.
So you don't think he's going to do that? You think he's actually going to?
I don't know if that's a good response or not. He said he's going to get kicked. He was going to deport people out last time, and he didn't. I don't know if that's good. I mean, you know what I'm saying. I mean, from an aspect of maybe Trump's full of shit in some ways. I'm just saying. I mean, that's sort of what he's saying. Right? Isn't that what he's saying? Or is he telling, hey, man, you got nothing to worry about?
He'll deport millions and millions of people.
Well, he said that the first time too, when he was president.
So you don't think he's going to do that? You think he's actually going to help people who are here?
He go after criminals. Right?
So you think he's just going to deport people who are criminals or?
Yes.
Here's this guy coming down the escalator. A rich guy, married 3 times, pretty foul mouth. What was it and what is it about him?
Has he made mistakes? Oh my goodness, yes. But I do believe that his heart's in the right place for me. How many presidents, how many politicians have come out on stage and hugged the American flag?
Probably everyone after this. Probably all of them after this. I mean, is that all it took, Johnson? Hey, you know what? That hugging of the American flag does help. I don't think it's a coincidence that every black conservative YouTube channel has the American flag in the background. They be holding on to the American flag. Shit, Trump did it too, so it's not a sellout thing, is it? I mean, Trump did it. When black people do it, they be like, see, I knew he was one of them. But yeah, man, symbolism works. There's symbolism on the Republican side as much as there's symbolism on the Democratic side, right? But these people are opting to support Trump. Opting to support. What else do we got?
That really means something to me.
You've also
What I talk to young men about who might be taken by the, fun side of Donald Trump, such as it is, the dancing, the going to the wrestling matches, going on the podcasts, and
yeah, fun stuff. How dare you like people that are fun? Hey, Doug, that's called charismatic. That's called, being outgoing, personable. Kamala should have tried it. It's a good idea. People that run for public office tend to have to get out in front of the public and do things. What do you tell them, Doug? What do you tell them? Mr. Personality, Doug. But I heard you got a pretty good left.
Fun side of Donald Trump, such as it is, the dancing, the going to the wrestling matches, going on the podcasts, and trying to portray himself as someone who he really is. And I think Cardi B called this out and said it's just all a hustle.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, Cardi B's a hustler. Hustle recognize hustle. Doug, don't you know that politics is a hustle? Simone Sanders, I know you're not going to sit there and act like your ass ain't been hustling. Simone Sanders went from Bernie Sanders to Joe Biden to, shit, what did you do? MSNBC? I don't know. Simone Sanders, you're a hustler too. But I don't get it, man. Don't these people realize to be a politician, that's part of the job, is you got to hustle. You have to interact with people. You got to put your best foot forward. You have to be personable, charismatic, outgoing. You cannot be an introverted, in a shell of yourself, word salad queen, telling long, boring stories no one relates to. Hey, folks, did you hear the story that Trump told about that trash truck? Did you hear the story that Donald Trump told about that trash truck trick or troll? Oh, guys, you got to hear this. How can I not have that story for you? Folks, Donald Trump's retelling of how he got that trash truck, the process of getting that trash truck, the actual doing of the filming of that trash truck episode or moment in time, folks, that was like, he's like a top 10 comedian in our country right now. Real talk. The man's truly gifted. Truly gifted. No takes, no edits, straight through. It was that good. I'm just saying, even Doug has to admit that Donald Trump has this thing. He tries to discredit it, but he has to admit it's real. And that's one of the reasons why I believe that Kamala Harris is in so much trouble. I know people want to say it's all about policy, and it is, to a certain degree. But if they really, really liked Kamala, they would probably overlook a lot of the policy failures of the Democratic Party or of the Joe Biden, Kamala Harris administration. For being as though she cannot get out of her own way, she can't project the type of personable type of character or personality that would kind of camouflage some of her faults. Be that, the fact that wings cost $100, I don't know, that you almost got to sell your children to be able to afford oxtails, and then you have oxtails with no kids. That's not good. So, yeah, she would need to be able to mitigate that somehow. Somehow you got to try to make up for it. By being such an interesting, down-to-earth type person, I mean, she is no Shirley Ralph. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Doug knows that more than anybody. Don't you, Doug?
So what I'm trying to implore young men in particular to do the research. He's not your friend. The policies that he's talking about will not help them in the economy.
I get tired of people talking about policies. They love saying, like Kamala has this talking point, that Donald Trump's just made tax cuts for the rich. But he also cut taxes for working class people too. I mean, he did. I mean, there were tax cuts for both, of all people. All people got tax cuts. It's true, there were deeper tax cuts for the upper, right? But the upper pays more taxes, unless they can get around it, right? But there was more of a tax cut for them, but there were tax cuts for all income levels. I don't know why they get to lie about that, because that's kind of a knowing lie, a known debunked lie smear that they've been using. But this idea that the Democratic Party is somehow more in touch with working class people doesn't ring true. I never felt Kamala Harris. As many times as Kamala Harris has told this story about her being raised middle class, I've never felt any type of kinship with her at all. And I wasn't raised middle class, I was raised lower middle class. But I don't feel any type of connection to her in that way. I mean, maybe I'm tripping, maybe you do. Maybe you love the story about her and her mother working till she was in high school, was able to buy a home, or something, or the small business person who lived down the hall that took care of her, was like a second mom. Why do I know that story? But there's nothing in that story that connects me, that makes me feel like, that, oh, I relate to her, or this makes me like her more. It just doesn't. Because she tells a part of it, but the connective tissue of the story just doesn't land. Doug, you know this. Doug knows better than we all do.
The policies that he's talking about have nothing to do with them. So
it gave me a chance to tie the Republicans running these seats, the incumbents, closer to Donald Trump, and remind everybody, if you're voting for these Republicans in New York, you are voting for someone who supports Donald Trump, and you're anti-woman, you're anti-abortion, and basically you're anti-American.
Well, that's really one way to sell it. Yeah. It's like the Democrats are desperate. The Democratic Party is desperate. Why would you be talking like this if you thought things were going well? She's basically saying if you vote for the Democrats, if you vote for the Republicans, you're voting for somebody that supports Trump, therefore you're voting against America. You're voting against our democracy, you're voting for Nazis and people that hate America, you're voting against your wife, your children, your daughters, your mother, your sister. Basically more than half the country. You're voting against their rights. I don't think that works. Yeah, I don't think it works well with voters. But I think it's Hail Mary time for the Democratic Party, man. They got to do something. And what they've been doing up to this point has not been working. So it's time to double. I mean, if it's not working, just do more of it. I mean, it's stupid, but that's what they're doing. If it wasn't offensive enough to call you garbage, now they're going to call you garbage that's been peed on? I don't know. I don't know where they go. Just keep going lower and lower. I thought Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high. Yeah, they go high because one of them is going lower. You get high and low at the same time. I mean, you got Governor Hochul. Governor Hochul's like a major surrogate for the Democratic Party for the Kamala Harris campaign. And she's sitting up here talking about, if you vote for a Republican, you are going against America. You are un-American to vote for one of the political parties in America. Is that crazy or what? That's what this has come to. These people have lost all objectivity. They lost their minds. I feel a little bit better, though, because I was kind of tired of people making it seem like if I voted any other way except Kamala, I didn't like black women. At least now I hear somebody saying it the other way. I mean, you didn't divvy it up to, white folks, but I mean, come on. Who else is listening to Governor Hochul? I can't imagine a lot of black men going, I've changed my mind because of Governor Hochul. That's the lady that said black kids don't know what a computer is. She said that. And she still got a job.
Because you have just trashed American values and what our country is all about.
Talking about the results of our latest poll, Senator, 66% of voters believe the country is on the wrong track. As you know, historically, incumbent parties don't win re-election when the number is that high.
Yeah, that's why they don't win re-election when people say that the country's on the wrong track. That makes sense, doesn't it? Hit the like button, guys. Don't that make sense? If you say, hey, we're going the wrong way, what do people want to do? Typically, go the other way. Unfortunately, we got a two-party system. Some people call it the unibrow. It's one party, one long party with two sides, but it's still connected. It's one party. You get what I'm saying? You say really there's no separation between the two? Good cop, bad cop, but they're both cops. Here's the thing. I like what she's saying here because I agree with it. When she says, hey, if 60, what'd she say, 60, how many? 60 what?
Don't win re-election on the wrong track. 66% of voters believe the country is on the wrong track.
66 believe, 66% of the country says we're on the wrong track. That track would be the Democratic track. That track would be with Joe Biden and Kamala. That's the ticket. That's who's in power. And that's why I say, man, it's always been Trump's game to lose. I know it's been painted another way, right? Because the convictions, the felonies, the continued harassment, the lawsuits for everything, the investigations, the 2 impeachments, the relentless negative press. I know it seems like he's the underdog, but he's not. She's the underdog because people aren't happy with her and her administration. So 66% of people are going, hey, we go the wrong way. Why'd you drive this way? And they want to switch drivers. I wonder what I wonder what Senator Warnock is going to say. Because he's going to have to come up with something very clever to turn this around because, he's kind of painted into a corner here.
Historically, incumbent parties don't win re-election when the number is that high. Do you believe that Vice President Harris should have distanced herself more from President Biden and sooner?
Of course he does. Of course he believes that. How could you run with a guy that you said was demented? How could you not separate yourself from someone who was losing, who crashed and burned like Joe Biden did? You make him quit. He quits. How could you not be like, look, this guy, not me, him. How could you not do that and get out the way? If you're really trying to win this thing, right? Because people don't want him. They didn't want him. That's why you got rid of him, right? How could you not distance yourself from him? It's like a no-brainer. I'll never understand what they were thinking. You threw a guy under the bus, but then you tried to help him up? I don't understand. Why'd you put him under the bus if you there must have been some type of polling that was done. They said if they threw Biden under the bus, they had to help him up. They could not distance themselves from him or would cause even more damage. At some point, somebody's got to write something. Someone's got to tell me something that makes sense because I don't understand it. If you say this is a horrible place, we need to move, why are you still visiting? I don't get it. Why aren't you? Who does that? Why leave? If you like the place, you keep going back to spend the night. Why not keep the lease? I'm not understanding what the Democrats are doing here, but I'm sure Warnock, who's sitting here patiently, he's going to come up with something. Go ahead, Warnock. Show us why you're a senator.
I believe, as this poll indicates, that this is a change election. And the voters in that regard have a very clear choice. They are saying that they want to turn the page. Donald Trump wants to turn back. It's in his slogan. It's in the proposals that he lays out.
Oh, come on, guys. I'm not sure I understand what he's saying. Okay. Is he saying that staying with Kamala, who's the vice president, now, that's change. Changing to Trump is not change. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's change to stay with Kamala, but changing to Trump is not change. Real change would be going with, Dr. West or Dr. Stein or RFK or, Claudia de la Cruz. That would be change, right? Because those are different people whose names haven't been here. They're not part of the current administration, and they're not a former president, right? That would be real change. But barring the possibility of the latter three winning, you got Trump and you got what you already got. How could you make the argument that going with Kamala is more of a change? I don't get it. Guys, it wasn't up until just 2 weeks ago that Kamala, for the first time, said that a Kamala Harris presidency will not be a continuation of the Biden presidency. It took her 2.5 months to come up with that amazing feat of understanding. Like, that maybe she should say that. I don't understand it. I mean, she was given the opportunity to say that this entire time. People have been asking her, what would you do differently than Biden? And she would say nothing. I can't think of anything. So that leads people to believe it will be a continuation of the Biden administration. But if you know that incumbents, when people don't like the incumbent usually loses, why would you want to be the incumbent? Why would you want to tie yourself to the incumbent? And why would you make the incumbent? Why would you guys stage a soft coup on the guy and then not want to get away from the guy? I just don't understand. I don't get it. But I think that's one of the reasons why when we look back on this, when we look back on it, I don't want to hear about Russia, but I know we will. I don't want to hear about misinformation, disinformation, horrible things. What was on HBO at the time? Somebody put out something on CD. Joe Budden said something in the podcast. What did Dr. Umar say? I don't want to hear this shit. I want us to look at the decisions made by the Democratic Party. Girls shaking it. Strippers at conventions. Booty dropping music at rallies for politics, and running the woman that was part of the administration without a primary, disenfranchising 14 million voters, and then throwing Biden under the bus, but then helping him up, and then him throwing you under the bus, and now you're both under the bus and you both climb out. I don't know. But I think when it comes to blame, I mean, like I said, I'm fine with black men being blamed. I'm not one of these cowards. There's a lot of cowardly people out here. Don't want you to blame the black men. These are black men who want to work for the Democratic Party. These are black men who get paychecks from the affiliation with the Democratic Party. Why else would you give a damn what the Democrats think about you as far as them losing an election? Why would you care if they blamed you? What are they going to do? Come in your house? They're going to give you a fine? What are they going to do? It's their job to earn your vote. Why would you be so afraid of them thinking, hey, we got to do better by these black men. We better be speaking to their issues all year, every year, or they're not going to vote for us. Why would you not want to have that posture? Everybody else does. Why would you want black men to have a posture of, we go along to get along? No other men in America have that posture. And we got a bunch of get along, go along, get along gang. We got a lot of crybabies, a lot of shields, a lot of practitioners at the DNC, a lot of basically dancers, lap dancers for the Democratic Party, men and women who are doing their best to stay in good with the Democratic Party. And the one way they do that is by saying this whole thing's a hoax. Black men don't know. Black men can't think for themselves. Black men would never do nothing without us. And any thought to the contrary is bogus. It don't make sense to me. I hope it don't make sense to you either. So the Democratic Party is on a course for collapse. Kamala makes a fatal mistake. One of those fatal mistakes was not distancing herself from Biden, having the strippers up and the dancers up and the lap dancing going on at the conventions. And I think it just turned a lot of black people off. That's what I think. I think as far as bang for the buck, I think she could have done a lot better. And I understand that she paid for this. And I don't know how much they paid Beyonce to be here and not speak or not perform. That's who you should have paid to perform. If you're going to pay one person to perform, it should have been Beyonce. That's what it should have been. It should have been Beyonce, not Florilla, not Megan Thee Stallion, and not the other one. And Cardi B should not have been a speaker. Why would you? Anyway, that's what I got, man. You guys let me know. Hit the like button on this. I want to know what you think about that. Hit the like button for the Tim Black Show. Remember, And let me know, do you think I'm right on this? I think the number of black women that were turned off, I think was going to hurt the Democratic Party at some point. I don't think it won over black men. I don't think it went well with black men. Hey, I'm of the older demographic. Black people over 40 years old, I don't think we're feeling this. And based on some of the responses that I've been getting online, I think it was negative. I think it was a negative for them. I don't think it had to return on the investment that they thought it was going to have. I think a lot of us rejected this. Okay, and it's the reason why they don't try it with other groups. And I think it's good that we rejected it so that these parties can learn going forward. They're going to have to have a different type of marketing plan to actually activate black Americans to come out to the polls to support their candidate. That they're going to have to do a little bit better job than this. A little bit better. I don't know, maybe saying the word black in your speech before the last week of the election would be a good idea. Yeah. They say Trump is a showman, Trump is this, he's that. Yeah, Trump said the word black, and he tried to center black issues in his campaign. And when he tried to do that, they said he was racist. Yeah, they called him racist for centering black people, for including black people in his stump speech. That's racist. They don't consider it omitting us from a conversation is being racist. See, once upon a time, the Democratic Party was the party that would have said, hey, you're not talking about black people. That's racist. Or some of these people that call themselves Democrats, some of the black Democrats would have said that, but they become so neutered, so under the thumb of the DNC, so comfortable, or so placated, or so afraid. I don't know what it is. I don't know, man. Maybe there's danger on the plantation. Something's going on. They're not even who they used to be. At one point in time, they were different than this. I think it happened somewhere around Obama. I'm not sure when it happened exactly, but I think the Obama presidency was the downfall of the Democratic Party. They thought it was a win. I think they thought that this new form of identity politics was going to take them up, but I think instead it took them down. And when black people waited all this time to see a black man become president of the United States, just to have that black man say, pull your pants up. Pull your pants up. I'm not going to do nothing for black people. I'm not the president of black America. I'm the president of America. Now, red states and blue states, we are the United States. And I ain't going to help you, Pookie. Pookie. I think that hurts the Democratic Party more than they know. And this may be Barack Obama's party, and that's why this party is going to the dogs. And that's why it's over. Because they dangled the carrot, and we got it. And it turns out it ain't even a real carrot. Turns out we don't even like carrots. Turns out the carrot had a piece of glass in it. That's what happened. And now the black America said, bump that, no more carrots. Money, jobs, investment. That's what we want. Just like the white folks, the Latino folks, we looked over at their plates and said, hey, what you guys eating? They were like, we're gonna eat these manufacturing jobs. We're gonna eat these trade jobs coming back. That's what we trying to do. And we say, hey, well, you know what? I don't like this glass in my carrot shit. I have what they have. And that's what we find ourselves in 2024. And that, my friends, will determine the election in 2024. That's going to determine who our next president's going to be. We only got a couple days left, Johnson. Let me know. I'm not going to ask you who you're voting for. Yeah, I'm kind of old school still in that way. I don't ask people who they're voting for, but I'll say this. Have you made your mind up? I'd like to know, is there still room in there? If you made your mind up who you're voting for, give me a 1. If you haven't, give me a 0. 1 means you made your mind up. That means yes. And 0 means no. You haven't made your mind up. You're still on the fence. You still haven't decided. I'd like to know that because I think that's very interesting. Well, they got what? It's less than 24 hours. 24 hours? 24 hours. 36 hours? 36 hours, you will choose a new president. I've been very vocal about how I feel about this. My ebook is still out there. It's still available. It's free. Go to Kamala8reasons.com. Kamala8reasons.com. Get my free ebook. And I'm going to tell you 8 reasons why I think that Kamala Harris will lose this election. May lose. Because I'm not 90. I'm 90. I'm still 95% sure Trump wins this. That's my gut talk, and that's what I think. I do not believe that a comedian at a Trump rally in Madison Square Garden is going to change the vote more. Democrats want us to believe that some pissed off Puerto Ricans who don't like comedy being the butt of a joke at a comedy by a roaster who also made jokes about Jewish Americans, Black Americans, like, that they're going to be so upset about the joke about them that they're not going to vote for their own best interest when it comes to money if they think Trump, because 70% of America thinks Trump's better with the economy. How you beat that, I don't know. You heard him say 66% of Americans think we're on the wrong track. How many Puerto Rican Americans or people that are sensitive to that are going to vote against changing the trajectory of what they don't like because of a joke that was made by a comedian? But Democrats want to sell you on that idea to try to disgruntle people or get people not to turn out for the vote. Try to, make you lose your enthusiasm. But my thing is, what about all the voters that are upset about Gaza? I think there are more people that are upset about Gaza in the Democrats' operations, in their response to what's going on in Gaza, us funding that war, and those who are upset about the funding of the Ukraine war. I think there's bigger numbers and more hostility surrounding those two wars than there's hostility surrounding a joke made by a comedian that was not elected by anybody. And by the way, Trump, and besides, Trump put out a statement saying he had nothing to do with it, and they didn't choose this guy. Like, he didn't know this guy. Like, I know the Democrats are not telling that side of it. But anyway, I still believe that would not be a deciding factor in this election. Whether you heard the whole story or whether you believe Trump knew every joke this guy was going to tell, it was like, sounds great, sounds good, go do it. This is going to be big fun. You got to go out and do it. Even if you believe that, I still don't believe people are going to vote to keep this administration in the White House. One of the people in this administration in this White House. I don't think that's going to happen. So Kamala8reasons.com is where you go. And I think people in a couple days will know if I'm right or if I'm wrong. But you get that ebook. Get that ebook. Where are we, folks? Where are we? How we doing, Johnson? Donald Moore gave me some love. I meant to say it's almost over, Wolfpack people. Thank you, fam. I appreciate you. Phyllis, thank you, Tim, for your hard-hitting political commentary. Thank you, Phyllis, for your $10. Thanks for supporting this. I appreciate you. Arlene Chambers in the house. The display of sexualizing a woman for the sake of political campaigning is condescending. Damn right it is. The celebrities who participated should have more self-respect. I don't know what they were paying, but whatever they paying was not enough. But you know what I think also, Arlene? I also believe there is a level of bullying. There is a level of bullying. Like if the Kamala Harris campaign reaches out to you to do this, if you turn them down, and you think it's a chance they might win, will you be blackballed from future events? You know what I'm saying? That makes sense, guys. Do you think it may be possible that some of the participants in some of this stuff and some of this foolery, that they were contacted by the Democratic Party, the DNC, or the Kamala team, and they felt they were, I don't know, they were given an offer they couldn't confuse? Were they given an offer they could not refuse? You know, sort of like the mob, right? The mob makes an offer that you cannot refuse. Do you think some of these people that support Kamala Harris were contacted by the campaign, and the people who want to work in Hollywood or want to work in the entertainment industry, where we know the Democratic Party over-indexes in power, do you think they're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place? They don't want to tick off the Democratic Party because it could mess up their future opportunities. Do you think these influencers or actors or celebrities are reaching out to the Kamala Harris campaign, or did the campaign reach out to them and those people kind of feel like I can't say no? You know, like a Diddy party goer. I don't know. I want to put that out there because there's a part of me, man. There's a part of me that wonders. I mean, I know D.L. Hughley is a brown-nosed scumbag, right? But maybe he had his arm twisted a little bit too. Yeah, maybe his arm been a little twisted. Maybe Colin was like, look, I heard you been talking shit about me, and if you don't start working for me, I make sure you don't work at all. And I sense a little bit of that in her. Am I the only person sensing some pettiness in Kamala Harris? You know, a little bit of that. I don't know. Anybody else got that kind of, that makes sense to anybody? I gotta be wrong. I don't have any definitive information on that. But yeah, I think people keep score. And I think there's some people that want their careers to go a certain way and they ain't done working. They want to do some more work and they don't want no problems. And they're just glad the phone didn't ring for them. And they're glad they came up with a doctor's excuse. You know what I'm saying? Like Rihanna had to come up with a doctor's excuse. Like, I'm sick. I just had a baby. Woo, I got pregnant at the right time, baby. Woo. Because, like, for instance, Usher was like, I don't even do politics. I'm good. I'm over here. And Cardi B was the same way. So Usher and Cardi B were like, no, I'm not doing anything. Cardi B was like, man, I'm not even on this politics stuff. And then all of a sudden, here she goes. What else I got to tell you? I just told y'all I wasn't endorsing nobody, and now I'm endorsing somebody. Why you think I endorsed him? Usher was like 2 weeks ago, he was on The View going, hey, you know, people get to choose who they want to choose, you know? Got a right to remain silent. Then a month later, he's back like, I love Kamala more than I love life. Kamala is my everything. I don't know where I would be in life if it weren't for Kamala Harris. That good? She is the bestest. She is amazing. Like that? Oh, she is amazing. She's the best. That's what they were doing. And I'm saying, I don't think people grovel like that without proper pressure. You gotta pressure these people a little bit. So I don't know, man, like I'm very critical of the shields, right? But I had to hold a little bit of room in my head for the possibility that maybe some of this is done by coercion. Maybe some of it is done by bullying. And Cardi B even brought it up in her speech. She says, I hate bullies. And I fight back against bullies. Yeah, right. I don't know. Just seems a little weird. Revelated in Spirit of Variance says that Riley was nothing but a feminist in the 304 Fest. That's why these chicks identify so much with Harris, because she's one of them too. It would appear that you are onto something, Johnson. I'm not going to say you're wrong, but you're not right. Well, I'm not going to say you're right, but you're not wrong. I'm not going to say. I don't know if you're right or wrong, but I can say it seems like you may be onto something. It seems like, hell, man, Kamala Harris ain't earned her rights. She ain't earned her position. She didn't earn her, her spot. So it is what it is. It is what it is, man. I don't know. I'm at Oz. Tim Black 2024, man of the people, for the people. No pressing, no suppressing the truth. I got it. No suppressing the truth. Hit those like, sub. You'll feel better. Yes, you will. You will feel better. I'm at Oz knows. He's been here for about 8 years. Thank you, I'm at Oz. Variance, what's up, brother? Variance says, you can tell by Warnock's facial expression that he's struggling to explain why Harris should be elected. Deep down, he knows it's over for her. See, Democrats know they got to play ball. I don't think everything that's done in the Democratic Party is done by choice. I think things are done because this is what you're supposed to do. This is what you got to do. This is what the party expects of you. If you don't do it, you get out-frankened. Get out-frankened. I heard somebody wanted Al Franken's spot. Al Franken was like up to become like a big-time guy in the Democratic Party, and they wanted him out. So they boosted up the story and got rid of Al Franken. Thank you, Black Mamba. I appreciate it. At least Kamala didn't have Sukiyana at the rally. Harris's campaign would have tanked further immediately. I'll say that. Wow. When that lie said she washed greens in the bathtub, everyone should have realized then she was not the one. I mean, we did. Yeah. I keep saying, guys, I'm just going to say it, man. I remember how it was with Obama. Yeah, just dumb. I remember that me and Mrs. Black were sitting there watching it on the TV. We were still living in a Capitol Heights, Maryland, in a hood over there by Dodgeview. No, over there by Benning Road, not Benning Road. What was that? What's that road that runs parallel to District Heights, Forestville, Maryland? Anyway, we're sitting over there in Capitol Heights, Maryland. Not far from Oak Crest Towers. See, some people gonna know what I'm talking about. Not far from Oak Crest Towers. And we're there, and we're watching Obama, and we're like, wow, Obama. And I was never the feeling of God, hope and change. Keep hope alive and change. Look at this. It's amazing. So look, man, I don't want to take away from somebody's feeling of that. And I know for a lot of people, what I'm saying, when I'm telling you my feelings about Kamala Harris, it does not resonate with you because you are believing in something right now. So I understand those people that dislike me for it. Those people that say that I'm a scumbag and I'm a sellout for it. I don't like it. I don't like it, but I can't hold it against you. Because I remember how stupid I was. But I don't think people were sellouts if they didn't agree. Because in 2008, there was not this amount of internet activity in social media. Twitter had just started. I don't even think I was on Twitter in 2008. I think the only social media that we were using was YouTube or Facebook. And I really wasn't on YouTube at that point. So you get what I'm saying? So I don't think I had the access of information to see all the shapes and sounds, the size of Barack Obama at the time. Things were more controlled by the corporate media. And they did a good job of curating and promulgating a narrative that would give you the impression that Barack Obama could walk on water, that all things were great. It was not until 2012 that many of us woke up about Obama. 2010, 11, 12, that we saw this. But I still want to save a little bit of grace for people because I can understand how you could still believe. I mean, it's tough. I mean, you got to be really, I mean, to be as goofy as we were about Obama in 2008, to do that now in 2024 with Kamala Harris, I mean, you got to be like trying to fight against information. I mean, you got to be like, bam, get that book out of get that information away from me. Get that truth out of me. Get out of here with the truth. I can't stand truth. You got to have like a barrier of stupid, like, not stupid. You got to have a force field protecting you against truth. Yeah, you got to really want to be in a bubble in order to not hear the truth about Kamala Harris. I mean, and then you got to lie to yourself. Forget people telling you lies. You got to lie to yourself like, it sounds like a good idea to wash greens in the tub. It sounds like a good idea that she was with that married man twice her age. It sounds like a good idea for them to disenfranchise us of the votes. It sounds like a good idea for them to throw Biden out and put her in and not make her go through a primary and then install her as a Democratic nominee without any type of democratic process. And they should be able to do that too because it's their party and that don't matter. Like, it takes a lot of convincing of oneself to go along with the narrative that's being portrayed by the Democratic Party right now. You know what I'm saying? You gotta really want to believe this nonsense. And I don't think that you should, but I still want to leave you a little bit of grace because I guess it's possible, but it ain't the same. It's not the same. Things have changed. And the Democratic Party must accept that things have changed. They have not accepted it. They will accept it in 2028, though. Oh, they're going to have to accept it in 2028 because they're going to feel the pain in 2024. Mark my words. Kelly M. I lost a good friend over and not voted for Kamala. Let's get this election over and move on to Iran Gate, or Russia Gate, whatever the deals want to throw at us. Man, that's unfortunate as hell to hear that, Kelly M. It really is. I hope that friend of yours will come to their senses at some point and realize they're stupid. They real talk, that they realize it. Not you tell them, but they realize it themselves. And one day they pick up the phone and they say, Kelly, I was wrong. It may take a while because the lies are thick. I blame mainstream media. I blame corporate media. Sorry to hear that, Kelly. I think a lot of us are going through that right now. It's been a lot of money. A lot of money is spent to have us believe nonsense. All right, guys, that's all I got. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Please hit the like button before you leave tonight. Hit the like button. Let people know that you watch the show here, the Tim Black Show. We do this every day, 9:30. Every day except Saturday. I keep saying we're going to stop. We might switch Fridays because Friday's a tough night. But I want to thank Buck Beauty for moderating the show as usual. I want to thank everybody that supports the show. Don't forget to go to patreon.com, Tim's Take Live, become a supporter of the show yourselves. I have a merch site where we have mugs and shirts and all that good stuff. I got some new mugs coming. I'll let you know about that when that happens. That's really all I got. We only got 36 hours away from the election. We'll see. That's all I got. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. I do. We did a good job, Buck. Thank you to everybody that supports the show. Calvin, thank you. Marie, thank you, Black Mamba. I appreciate you, Nelson. Good to see you, Michelle Bell. You know it. That's it. That's all I got. I love you. Remember, don't let nobody take your cornbread. And don't argue with these people about this election. Don't argue. A man convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. You don't change nobody's mind. They change their own. Remember that. I love you. And with that, I'll say what I always say. Where my girls at? They got to be here somewhere. Huh. Oh, there we go.